Fuji tip of the day. Why is this important? Now this will not work. Will not work if you write RAW files to card 1 and JPEGs to card 2. Because when you start chimping your pictures, your camera only looks at the embedded JPEG on the RAW file in card 1. So you cannot chimp on it at 100%. Make sure it was in focus. So you're shooting a shallow depth of field like f1.2 on the 56mm Fuji. So it don't work then. This is if you are shooting backup. And this is why, there's two primary reasons why you should shoot RAW+FINE. Obviously, explaining why you should be shooting RAW files is pretty obvious. Digital negative, something that you can do everything with. A JPEG you can't do that much with. That's kind of obvious. But why should you be shooting RAW+FINE? Two reasons. One's on the computer and one is on the camera. When you shoot RAW+FINE and you drop it onto both cards, meaning backup, or even if you're just writing to card 1, but you wouldn't do that on the X-T2 since you have a dual card slot, and if you're shooting an important professional gig, having a backup is vitally important. Reason number 1, when you shoot RAW+FINE, it allows you to chimp at the picture on 100% through your EVF or your LCD screen. If you're just shooting RAW, you cannot do that. You can't get way the hell in there and see if you nailed that person's eye at f1.2, for example. If that's what you're shooting, it won't let you get in there and see that. Okay? So you can't do chimping at 100%. So, that's important reason number 1 why you should be shooting RAW+FINE. Number 2 is workflow on your computer. What I do, and a lot of people do, because time pissed away on the computer, I don't care, I sit in front of the computer all day long. I don't want to sit in front of it any more than I have to, which is already 24 hours a day. Workflow in front of the computer is a lot easier, because it don't matter if you're using Lightroom or Radiant, is that I will go through the JPEGs, okay, on my computer, and I can take a look at those, mess around with them, and then I can determine which images I quickly want to use or not use. If you're just shooting RAW files only, it's not as fast, so do that for a workflow. It's a 2-point reason to be shooting RAW+FINE. And of course it will not work for chimping on the back of your camera if you drop RAWs only to card 1 and JPEGs to card 2. So it helps you in chimping, which is very important in shooting shallow depth of field, especially in portraiture. It's useful in general. You'd be like, oh my god, I tried that and I'm able to zoom in a lot more on the back of my LCD screen. Yes, exactly so. By the way, here's another tip. You know, if you're actually doing autofocus assist, you can actually not only press it in to zoom in to manually focus override while the shutter button's halfway down, you could actually scroll it to the right to zoom in beyond the zoom in, especially for manual focus. If you're actually doing manual focus and you actually click the back button to use focus peaking to actually check on the shot, you can actually drop the rear command dial a little over to the right and it will zoom in even further to a level that is way in there for really precise focus peaking, manual focus check. That's something that most people don't realize. They know that they can hit the back button to zoom in, but they don't realize that I actually turn the back button after that to zoom in even further. So that's a little tip that is not in the owner's manual, I don't think, and it's certainly a tip that most people don't know. So that's the reason why you shoot RAW+FINE on your Fuji. It makes chimping better and it makes workflow on the computer side faster. And that's undeniable. Actually, most pros agree on that. As far as shooting RAW+FINE, it definitely improves the speed of the workflow. When you're looking at bazillions of images, and you're trying to eliminate the crap and pick out the good stuff. Makes things a lot faster. You know, you don't want to go through a pile of RAWs. You just don't. No. Doesn't matter if you ever use the JPEGs. It speeds it up. It gives you an instant preview. It's like, well, I see this JPEG, I'm going to find the relevant RAW file because that's the perfect shot that nailed it that I want to mess with in my RAW converter, in Lightroom, in a Radiant developer, in Capture One or whatever sort of RAW processing application that you use. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.